Oh, you know what? That is one of my favourite moments during car obsession. Such a really simple pleasure. Come on, man, I need to sit there. You've taken my seat. Are you going to move anytime soon? Look, you're getting fur all over my seat. You got to fall off. You got to fall off. Get a cat, they said, it'd be fun. Actually, I've got 2 cats, but never mind. Hello guys, welcome back to Car Obsession and welcome to a new series. Now, I, like many other car YouTubers in the UK, we are in a little bit of a predicament. Now, obviously, in the grand scheme of things, this is very low priority and it's not, something to complain about, but obviously, we go out and film with cars, and now because the UK is on an official lockdown, we can't do that. And I'm fully behind the lockdown, by the way, because anything we can do to save lives is obviously a good thing, and of course to try and take the strain off the NHS. Anyway, I don't want to focus too much on COVID-19 because I don't know how long it's going to be until I can go out and film with the car. I thought I'd start a new series, and I've called it Vlogdown. Do you get it? It's like vlog and lock. Moving on. So I wanted to start a new series to do a few vlogs, just to try and connect with you guys, talk through a few different topics, and try and bring you not so much behind the scenes, but try to bring you into my world a little bit more. So if there are any particular topics you'd like me to speak about, then get in touch, and I will see if it's something that I have something to say about, or if it's something that I think will be of benefit to other viewers of the channel. Then please do get in touch. Now, as you can tell by the title of this video, this is basically going through. Well, this is like a 10,000 subscribers recap. So I want to speak about my journey from start to finish. Don't worry, I will try not to speak for too long, so it's not going to be a full detailed history video by video, because that would take God knows how long. I've made over 400 videos, so no, this is going to be more of a kind of overall general kind of look back at my time whilst doing Car Obsession. So yeah, the channel hit 10,000 subscribers 1 or 2 weeks ago. Thank you so much for your support. It certainly doesn't go unnoticed, and of course there will be some subscribers that have been with me since day one, and some that are more recent. So yeah, whilst doing Car Obsession, I've had lots of wonderful experiences. I've met some great people, and of course driven some great cars as well. Chair's a bit creaky. When I first started Car Obsession, it was a very low budget affair, and that's not to say that I have a really high production value. I've got a big budget now, because I haven't, but I'd like to think the channel has evolved and has moved forward in the right direction in the 4 years I've been doing it. Well, almost 4 years. So the very first car I reviewed properly, because I did drive a Xenos not too long after I started the channel, which was amazing. I got invited to go up to, so Xenos, if you don't know, they are a company based in Norfolk. They make sports cars, kind of more track cars, and they're kind of like an alternative to a Caterham or an Ariel Atom, that kind of thing. And I took great interest into the company, and I was able to go down there, go into their workshop, see how they make the cars, have a little tour of the facilities. And I got to drive which Xenos did I drive? I think it was the E10S, which is the mid-range version. Then I had a passenger ride around Snetterton in the E10R, which is the most powerful version. That was fantastic. Even as a passenger, I could really feel the mechanical grip through the corners, and the amount of grip it had was phenomenal. I've not experienced many cars like it since. So yeah, that was kind of like a mini review. And if you go back and watch that video, it's not the greatest in my opinion. There's only one camera angle throughout the whole thing. You didn't really get to see the car. And it was quite a rushed affair, to be honest. But anyway, you know, I say I don't want to talk about my experience video by video, and that's almost what I'm doing. But so let's move things on. The first car I properly reviewed was a Fiat 500, which is weird because I've recently reviewed another Fiat 500. But yeah, the first car I reviewed was a Fiat 500, a very interesting spec. So it was black. I can't remember the official colour. I'll see if I can dig it out and drop it in as a subtitle. But it was an interesting specification because it had Fiat's second skin. I don't know if Fiat still offers it as an option, but at the time that I did this was 2016. You could have a second skin, which is like decals, stickers, vinyls that you could have put on the car. So I had a black car, and the top of it had black camouflage on it, and to top it off, it had kind of lime green wing mirrors. Very interesting spec. I don't know who spec'd it at Fiat, but I think they must have had something quite strong and maybe hallucinogenic before they did it, because yeah, it's quite distinctive. The weird thing is, actually, a few days ago, believe it or not, I actually drove past a car that was pretty much the same specification. I thought it was the same car, but it was a 17 plate and not a 16 plate, so it couldn't have been. But yeah, so when I first started, I had a Galaxy S7, which I filmed with, and I also had, I think I had a GoPro Hero 4 Silver, and I still have. No, hang on, no, I'm telling a lie. No, I think I did have a GoPro Hero 3 at some stage, but I think that might have been bought later down the line to replace a GoPro I lost, because whilst I've been filming Car Obsession, I've lost 2 GoPros. One came off a BMW M4 in Weatherby, and the other one, how did I lose the other one? I'm sure I've lost 2 GoPros whilst I've been doing Car Obsession, but now I'm not too sure. Anyway, I digress again. Yeah, so I started off with just a phone and a GoPro. I'm pretty sure it was a Hero 4. And if you watch my early videos, yeah, the quality wasn't very good at all. One of the biggest mistakes I've made was, so for those of you that are familiar with GoPros, when you buy them, the Hero 4s, they're not waterproof out of the box. You have to put them in a casing. And I put them in the casing with the plastic door on the back. And when you do that, the sound quality is awful. Litre petrol unit. So for those of you who are looking for a bit of economy of diesel, you need to look elsewhere, I'm afraid. But it does offer quite a good level of performance. It sounds like you're stuck in a fishbowl, because it's just like. And at the time, I did everything I could to try and improve the audio, but ultimately, I was fighting a losing battle because the audio I started off with was rubbish. So I then learnt that you can get the skeleton GoPro mounts, not mounts, casing, and that way the microphone isn't kind of muffled, and that was a massive improvement. So yeah, Fiat was the first car I reviewed, but I'd say the first manufacturers that really got on board with what I was doing was Suzuki, and to this day I have a massive respect for Suzuki, because I've said it before and I'll say it again, without that brand I don't really know where Car Obsession would be today. So yeah, a lot of respect for Suzuki. So I had the Baleno, what else did I have? I had the Jimny, the previous generation of the Jimny, which I didn't really like, and that review kind of went down like a lead balloon, because to be honest, I approached the review from the wrong angle. I'm happy to concede that now. And yeah, that video got a lot of hate. But having said that, to this day, it's still one of my highest viewed videos. So swings and roundabouts, I suppose. I also had the Baleno. I had the previous Vitara. I had the Vitara S. That was really good fun. I enjoyed that car. I was quite sad to see that one go back. And then later down the line, like I think I mentioned a few moments ago, I reviewed a few MGs. So I had the MG3. I've had the new version of the MG3 since. I had the MG GS. I never got around to reviewing the MG6 because that got dropped. It didn't sell very well, and that's probably the reason why it did get dropped. But I think at the time, MG's official reasoning was it wasn't financially viable to fund a new model that would meet the EU regulations for engines at the time. But let's face it, it didn't sell very well. Which, to be fair, I don't think it was that bad a car. I think it's quite easy to mock the new MGs. But the thing is, you drive it, they're not fantastic, to be honest, but you look at the specification, look at what's included, and then look at the price, and you have to stand back and think, well, I can't really slag it off because it is a cheap car. You get what you pay for. But yeah, so I have learnt quite a lot whilst doing car obsession, and everything I've done has pretty much been self-taught, and I may have fallen into some bad habits, and there may be some things I could be doing better. But yeah, I've tried to do everything myself, and I don't have a production team or anything like that. Although some people in the past have have this weird notion that I do have a production team. Yeah, but pretty much everything you see is filmed by me. In the past, I have had help from my wife. She's helped with a few bits, but I try not to rely on her too much because of her health conditions. I don't really want to take the mick or feel like I'm exploiting her. So it's kind of on her terms. If she can help me, great. If she can't, it is what it is. So yeah, she used to help out more than she does now, but yeah, because things have changed, she can't always be in a position to do so, which is fair enough. But I will be doing separate videos on different topics. So I will speak about how to start a car YouTube channel. So I don't want to go too much into that topic in this video. I will also go through the kind of equipment I use when I film, which won't be to everybody's tastes, but some of you may find it interesting. Because I have had one or two people ask me what equipment I use. Also, how much money I earn from YouTube. I'm quite happy and I'm quite open to speak about how much I earn from YouTube. I won't talk about that too much now. Spoiler alert, it's not much, believe me, but I will do a video speaking about that and whether it's worth monetizing your channel. But yeah, it's mad just how much I've done whilst doing car obsession. And I was looking through. Someone asked me on my live Q&A a few days ago, someone asked me what my favourite car was, the best car I've reviewed, which is an almost impossible question to answer, because you're then comparing cars such as a Bentley Continental GT to a Suzuki Celerio. Obviously, you can't compare the two cars, and that's why it's difficult to answer that question, because I may drive one car and think it's really good, but it's really good at one aspect of driving, or it's good for one thing, whereas there's another car that's really good at doing something else. So it's really difficult to categorically say the best car I've ever driven is, to answer the question. At the time of the Q&A, I kind of gave half an answer. I said, well, based on my interests, i.e. hot hatches, and everything the car can do, I'd say an FK8 Honda Civic Type R. But can I say that's the best car I've ever driven? No disrespect to the Civic Type R, because it is a truly amazing car. But when you think I've driven Mustangs, Caterhams, I've driven a few supercars, to say the best car I've driven is the Civic Type R, it just seems like a bit of a naff answer. Do you see where I'm coming from? Don't know. What do you think, guys? But yeah, I've driven some great cars. Now, I have genuinely tried to sit down and make a list of top 5 videos or 5 cars that I've done, and it's really difficult. In fact, where is my notepad? Please hold. So I've got my notepad here, and top five videos. I've got so many videos written down that to kind of put them into a top 5 is difficult. But at the same time, I don't really want to make a top 10 because that's going to be quite a long video, and I think I'm going to bore people. Yeah, I'll just go through some of the videos on this list. So the mini run when I did the London to Brighton, with a friend of the channel, that was really good fun. That was such a great experience, and I'd love to do the London to Brighton mini run again. But it's just it never seems to come at the right time. When I went to the Rallycross, again, that was fantastic. I really enjoyed that, and being able to get stuff signed with by Ken Block and other Rallycross drivers was amazing. I'll never forget the moment when I was on the starting grid, and just literally, I'd say from where I'm sat now to the camera was Ken Block speaking to someone. I'm like, oh, I don't really get starstruck that often, but I was like, oh my God, I'm in touching distance of Ken Block. This can't be real. So yeah, it's just literally thinking about it. You kind of put these memories away, don't you? When you kind of bring them back out of their shelf, you think, oh my God, that was amazing. Another one, when I got the chance to meet Clarkson, Hammond and May as part of Drive Tribe, again, that was amazing. I didn't really film too much of the evening because I didn't want to. I thought if I had a camera out all the time, it'd be quite intrusive. And I wanted to enjoy the evening as opposed to worrying about what kind of content I was getting. But, I actually had about a 20-minute conversation with Jeremy Clarkson. I've got no proof of that, so some of you may think I'm just making it up, but genuinely I did, and it was the most surreal experience ever. I kid you not, my legs were shaking so much I thought I was going to fall over, because we were stood up at a bar, because this was filmed at a kind of pub/bar in London, and just being able to converse with someone that I've been a fan of for so long was just absolutely amazing. And I suppose people have a kind of preconception of what Clarkson would be like in real life. When I spoke with him, he's quite subdued, dare I say almost reserved, very down to earth, not how you would expect him to see on TV, but how he is on TV, you would argue that is somewhat a persona, but in real life, it's really down to earth, really nice, genuine guy. We spoke about the fact that James May had a Ferrari, and it's quite poncy, and that Clarkson was saying that his Golf GTR was better because it's more discreet, less showy. And we spoke about a few different things at the time. This was I think it was not too long after the first season of the Grand Tour started. So I was, I was giving him a bit of feedback about what I liked and what I didn't like. And for example, I said, I really think you should. I'm not a big fan of the American, and that Celebrity Brain Crush, whatever it's called. That wasn't particularly good. And obviously, the next season, that disappeared. That's not to say that. that may come across wrong. It may seem like, oh yes, it's all because of me. I got rid of it because I spoke to Clarkson. No, but I'm just saying that obviously that feedback must have come from lots of people, because obviously the Grand Tour did change things somewhat. But what else have I got in here? When I went to Ireland to drive the new Swift Sport, I teamed up with a good friend of the channel, Pocket Rockets, and that was an amazing experience. And that was my first kind of international press launch. I say international because it's only Ireland, but it's not part of the UK, so technically it's abroad. But that was really good. I got to drive the car on track, which was great, but we were kind of in a train of cars, and there were some people on the track that were braking a bit too hard, not really driving the car as fast as they could have done. Don't get me wrong, I'm far from the world's most adept track driver, and in fact, the video that would have gone live before this would have been me on track. So I think that's a good example. But it just felt like some people on the track just weren't that good at driving, to be honest. That sounds really harsh and really, it sounds really mean and bitchy to say, but don't know. Different people have got different skill levels, and I'm far from the best driver. But let's not take anything away from that. That was a great experience. Good banter as well. Always good banter with Chris. And, Chris isn't the only person that, I've had the good fortune of meeting through Car Obsession. It sounds weird. I can't actually remember how Chris and I crossed paths. It's really interesting because, we've been good friends for quite some time now, but I can't actually remember how we met. So, Chris, if you're watching, if you can enlighten me and indeed my viewers, that'd be great. So I think we met through social media, I think. But if you aren't subscribed to his channel, please head over there and give it a look and subscribe. Because, he does do some pretty good stuff, albeit infrequently, but he leads a busy life, as do I. So I've been talking for so long that my mouth's starting to go dry. So, as you know by now, I can talk until the cows come home. But I am keeping, if you see my eyes keep doing that, it's because I'm just checking how long I've been speaking. So I don't want to speak for too long. So I know this isn't the most engaging video. So probably speak for about another 5 minutes or so. Although this could easily be an hour's video because I've got so much to say. So I'm bored. But yeah, I've met some other great fellow YouTubers as well. Auto Bears, he's also a good friend of the channel. Peak Performance Reviews, Tom Kent, Motors and Music. So please check out all of these videos. If there's anyone I haven't mentioned, don't worry. It's not because I don't like you. It's just I've got so many names coming to my head. Also got Redline Magazine, Joe Achilles, of course. Sorry, Joe, I almost forgot about you. So yeah, I've met a lot of good people along the way. I've also been speaking to Petroped more recently. So yeah, it's really good to be part of a community. I think that's a really good word for it. A community. And yeah, so many experiences, and like I say, I could, I might do a video. If you want to hear me waffle on about my, kind of top 5, maybe top 10 experiences, do get in touch. I would like to do one of my top 5 or top 10 cars, but again, it's difficult because for me personally, I'd end up making a list of just hot hatches because I love hot hatches. But I know some people might not like hot hatches. I know some people like performance estates or SUVs or supercars. Now, for my channel, I don't really do supercars, and the reason for that is because that genre of car has been completely monopolised by people such as SME150, Mr. JWW, Seen Through Glass, Supercars of London, Archie Hamilton, TGE. Oh, the list goes on and on and on. Don't get me wrong, I do like some of those YouTubers' content, some that I'm less keen on, but I'm not going to go into that because I don't want to feel like I'm slagging off other YouTubers because we work hard for what we do. Some work harder than others, I imagine, but anyway, let's not get political about that because that's not why I'm here. But yes, anyway, I digressed, not for the first time. So I don't really do supercars because for me it's almost a waste of my time, and that may sound like a very shocking thing to say, but case in point, 2 maybe 3 Novembers ago I drove a McLaren 570S Spider and I loved it. A great experience, and that would definitely be up there in regards to greatest things I've done for the channel. And I genuinely thought this is the one, this is the video that's gonna, this is gonna be my big break. And I put a lot of hope into that video, a lot of faith, and to this day it's done less than 700 views. No, not 700,000, 700, less than 700. So whenever I film with any supercar, the views I get for it are normally rubbish. So I'm not really that fussed about filming with such cars because I know that it's going to be a lot of hard work for little reward. And some would say, wow, that sounds really ungrateful. And what I mean by reward is not the actual drive itself. I mean, I'm going to put all that hard work into filming a video, editing a video, putting it onto YouTube. and barely anyone is going to watch it. So if I do film with a supercar, sorry, if I drive a supercar, I should say, if I do get the opportunity, I'm not going to turn it down, of course, but at the same time, it would be more for a kind of personal reason as opposed to, okay, I could do this content with it. So if someone said to me, hey Aaron, would you like to drive a 911? I'd be like, yeah, I'd love to. But knowing in the back of my head that I won't get much from it from a YouTube perspective. I actually drove a 911 last year actually, but that video never made it onto the channel. Oh, that camera's just turned itself off. Back in a moment, even the cameras have got bored of me. There we go. Yeah, I actually got invited to one of Porsche's kind of driver experience days up at Silverstone. Pardon me, and it was a great time, and I'm grateful for Porsche for inviting me. But one thing I was a little bit confused by, bearing in mind, I'd say about 75% of the people who attended were YouTubers. We couldn't film anything. Well, we could film some bits, but we were very limited in regard to what we could film. So we couldn't film anything in car. So for example, I drove the Panamera, the electric one with the long name, or was it the Turbo S? To be honest, I wasn't in the car very long, so it's a very brief drive. I can't remember which Panamera it was, but I was in that and I couldn't film anything to camera. And every drive we went on, we had a Porsche representative with us, which I had no problems with, but it just felt like, well, you've invited me here to get content, but I can't get content. It just seems a bit counterproductive. I enjoyed the day, don't get me wrong, and never been a massive Porsche fan. Sorry, not van. Anyway, and the car I was really impressed by was the Cayman. I really liked that. I drove the Cayman GTS, I think. No. Oh my God, I can't remember which one it was. But that was incredible. I really enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it more than the 911. The reason for that was because the 911, so although it's based at Silverstone, you don't get to go on the actual Silverstone circuit. Porsche have got their kind of bespoke handling circuits and other areas actually within Silverstone. And the handling track is brilliant, but for a 911 it feels a little bit too small. By the time you've really pinned the throttle, you need to brake it because it's another corner. There's no real opportunities where you can really gun it. So the Porsche felt too big and too powerful for the track, whereas the Cayman, that felt spot on. You could use just about the right amount of power and really enjoy the car and exploit what it had to offer. Yeah, so I know this has been a very sporadic video. I've kind of darted from topic to topic to topic like someone with ADHD. So don't want to speak for too much longer, so we'll start summarising things. So, yeah, 10,000 subscribers. It's taken me quite a long time to get there, almost 4 years, but I'm really grateful for your support. And without your support, I wouldn't have been able to do some of the things I've done, like going to Portugal and getting drenched on the side of the road whilst filming a Nissan Micra. That's with Auto Bears. That's a great experience. Driving a Ford Mustang. One of my greatest memories from that, driving the Mustang, was at the time my wife was working in Kingston, and I thought, should I pick you up from work? Not something I normally do, because from where we used to live, driving from our flat to Kingston, particularly in rush hour, was a nightmare. It was just so stressful. But I thought, no, I got a Mustang. Yeah, I want to do a bit of peacocking, so to speak. So I remember driving down Kingston High Street. The bus stops were lined with commuters, and because the buildings are relatively high, you've got almost like a sound tunnel. I remember having the car. I had the exhaust in race mode, I think, or the highest mode you can have it in, and I remember just hearing the exhaust reverberate off the buildings and just seeing people look up and what they were doing. Is you know what? That is one of my favourite moments during Car Obsession. Such a really simple pleasure of just hearing a Mustang's V8 just bounce off the buildings. Oh, yeah. As you can tell, even to this day, that makes me a very happy Aaron. So, yeah, so I will be doing more of these videos. I will try not to make them quite this long, because to be honest, I know I need to start wrapping up, which I'm always awful at wrapping up. It takes me about 10 minutes to wrap up a video, normally. But yeah, I will be doing different topics. So just to give you a little flavour of what's to come. So filming equipment I use, how to start up a car YouTube channel, how much money do I earn. I may do like a kind of top 5 videos or top 5 experiences, or I may try and do a kind of top 5s or top 10s if that's something you'd like to see. There's another video that, again, won't be to everybody's interest, but I think for me it's quite an important topic, and I want to do a video speaking about what it's like to do YouTube whilst tackling or dealing with, or indeed living with mental health issues. I can't even say it, because that is, I wouldn't say a large part of me, but certainly a point of interest for me, mental health. But yeah, so 10,000 subscribers, it's been fantastic. It has been a long road, and there have been times where I have thought about giving up, but I've put too much time and energy into this to give up now. And of course, I've had your fantastic support to get me through those dark days. And speaking of support and indeed dark days, obviously we live in pretty crappy times at the moment. So support each other. We can get through this situation if we do help each other out. So yeah, that's it really. I'm going to sign off now. I won't bore you anymore. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Stay safe, guys. Stay at home, but stay positive as well. Just try to keep your spirits up. But yeah, until the next time, guys, be sure to keep up the car obsession.